Hello, today is June 4th, 2020. It's Thursday. It's a nice, bright summer day, but it's not too hot. So I think after I finish my coffee, I'm going to go outside, take a walk, maybe do some errands with my mom, because we need to go grocery shopping. I'll try to be concise with this one because a lot has happened, not just with me or my friends, but with the world at large. Normally, I start rattling off about what I'm working on and what's been happening with me, but yeah, I there's no getting around it. I gotta be blunt. There are two major world events happening right now. The more recent of the two, is that there are protests happening everywhere. About a week ago, a man named George Floyd was killed by police in Minnesota. And since then, there have been protests almost every day in every part of the United States and even around the world, calling for justice to be served. It's times like this I wish I was more eloquent. It's times like this that I wish I was more learned, but I still know exactly what to say. Black Lives Matter. Last Sunday, May 31st, me and my friends held a very impromptu, very hodgepodge fundraising event. But it still went off. There were some difficulties, but we made it work, and we ended up raising over $50,000. Unlike the last fundraiser we held, it wasn't to a specific organization. It was to, we were just keeping track of money people were donating to their local organizations. So if you're watching this and you didn't get to watch it, I believe the VOD is up on YouTube. Or not YouTube, Twitch. It might be up on YouTube, if not now, at a later date, on Wayne's channel. But even though the show's over, I implore you to still donate. And as of this recording, I believe the Minnesota Bail Fund has stated that they have gotten, a lot of support, and they're actually stating that people ought to donate to other organizations like them in other places around the country. So I'm going to say the same thing. Don't just throw money, around. If you are I implore you to donate, but donate wisely. Look into what communities you're a part of. Look into the communities that exist around you. Look into the organizations that exist around you, and pick the one that you think will do the most good for the people, for you, yourself, and the people around you. Statewide organizations, citywide organizations, things like that. And pick the matters that matter most to you. Because the Minnesota, I hope I'm right, but the Minnesota Bail Fund said that they've gotten enough support and that they would like to see other organizations get that same kind of support as well. For the last week, I've been honestly really scared and really nervous. I think all of us are, here in Boston, there definitely have been protests. And the police have definitely been cracking down on them. yeah, I wish I was more eloquent because I don't know what else to say other than the fact that I've been really nervous. But I'm glad we pulled that. I'm glad we ran that show on Sunday, um, because it was very uplifting to see how much people cared, to see the support, in a tangible way. The other world event that is happening at the same time, believe it or not, is COVID-19. Um, the last vlog was in February, and since then it has made its way to the United States, and the country's been on lockdown. Some people pay more attention than others. Some people care more than others. But, for Massachusetts and Boston, it's, the city's been on lockdown. And, aside from going out and like grocery shopping and like necessary errands, I haven't left the house much. I'm doing okay health-wise. I feel good. Everyone around me feels good. But it doesn't mean that people aren't dying or getting sick. The Massachusetts state government has outlined a plan to kind of slowly reopen the state. So, restaurants are slowly reopening. Small businesses, offices are slowly being allowed to open again. But we'll see going forward, right? It's not, people are cautious about a second wave of the virus hitting. But I think we'll be okay, and here in Boston at least. But it means that everything I talked about in my prior videos is kind of not is not happening anymore. I was a chocolatier for about like 2.5 months. I started in January, but since the city's been on lockdown since mid-March, that opportunity has kind of been that someone pulled the carpet from under me, or not someone, but something. No one ever wants to lose their job, myself included. Thankfully, I'm financially sound. I'm okay. But, it still sucked because I really liked that job. I liked working with the chocolate. I liked learning about all the different kinds of confections. I was at the point where I was finally getting my feet wet, in terms of, learning how to actually work with the chocolate. And we were gearing up for Easter, so that was very exciting. But yeah. I don't have that job anymore. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I'll get that job back even when things reopen. Because it was a very small place that I was working for. So that is not happening anymore. And also stand-up isn't happening anymore. I went to a few stand-up shows just to try to get acclimated and to see what kinds of things people were bringing to the table back in February. But aside from attending a few stand-up shows and I haven't actually done any stand-up myself because they're not happening right now. So yeah. I have seen a few people do kind of stand-up shows online, but in my opinion, without a live audience, it just won't work. Through a screen. pre-recorded specials are one thing, but like getting into a conference call with you and like several other comedians and trying to do stand-up for an audience that you can't see or hear or react to, I think is like impossible to do stand-up for. I don't think it's not impossible, but you do have to change it to the point where it's not the same thing anymore. If you haven't noticed, I have kind of taken what I was doing or what I was planning to do for my stand-up stuff, and I've been kind of reworking it into my videos. So it's not all wasted effort. It's, and I'm still, chipping at it where I can, and hopefully when theaters open back up, maybe I'll actually do my first stand-up, first open mic. I'm glad I kept my New Year's resolution, like, low stakes, because I did say, I'm pretty sure I said, like, I would do stand-up regularly. Not good, not well, not often, just regularly. So, accounting for the global pandemic, hopefully that still gets to be true. What has been consistent, though, is videos. Half-Life VR AI is a huge success. More, it's bigger than I think anyone would have ever hoped for. If you had asked me to estimate when we recorded the first session, how popular it would get, I would say maybe the YouTube video would get 6 digits. And it would just be the one video, not the whole series, right? I thought the video was going to end there. And 6-digit views, right? If we can get like 100,000 people to have seen it, done. We were good, I remember, hearing, from someone like, oh yeah, 1,000 people watched the stream while you guys were doing the show. And I said, wow, 1,000, that's great. And by the end, we ended up getting, 5 times that amount, which is definitely a very, very, very packed house. So I'm very happy. I'm happy that the fans of this series love it. I'm not at the point where I make videos for any monetary gain yet. Maybe I'll be there one day, but I'm not holding my breath. I really make these videos and I work with my friends on these videos because I like making people happy. I'm an entertainer at heart. I would rather you smile and laugh than anything else. So the fact that I've achieved that and my friends have achieved that makes me very happy. So if you're a long-time viewer, great. But more likely, if you're a new viewer, welcome. Glad to have you. Very happy that I've been able to make you happy. As for future projects with my friends, expect more streams. Expect me to be on the streams. Expect me to stream myself. I'm trying to figure out what kind of like ecological niche that I need to fulfill yet, right? Because I don't want to just be another guy on Twitch playing video games. There's more than enough of that. I have a few ideas, but I don't feel like sharing them yet. But as far as like, the stuff that people actually want to know about, we have things planned. I'm gonna keep my lips sealed because they're good. They're good enough to keep secret. So take it from me, they're great. But, you shouldn't hold your breath either. But just know that they're coming. As for me personally, like I said, the 2 things that I was going to take on at the beginning of the year are gone. Or gone for the time being. So it's weird, right? I'm not a spiritual person. I don't believe in any higher power. But I do believe in going with the flow. I would rather go with the universe than fight back against it. So with that in mind, it's a little weird for me because, uh, you know, at the beginning of the year, I was just sitting at home, working on my videos, and I was very happy with that. Then I decided, okay, I can probably, juggle these two extra things on top of it. I think I'm at the point where I can handle it now. I can pursue, being a chocolatier, if anything, for fun. And I can pursue stand-up because I think it would benefit me greatly if I acquired those skills that came from being better at performing stand-up. Those are gone, right? But even though, in the span of 6 months, I've started things and then those things ended and I'm back to where I was, the thing that I was constant about and chipping away at, making videos, working with my friends on their projects, we as a group are more successful now on that front than ever. So I'm trying to interpret what the universe is trying to tell me. Trying to figure out what it is I ought to do next and where it is I ought to head next. Some things seem obvious, some things don't. As for the actual projects that I'm working on, expect the second episode of my talk show. Those take longer to prepare for, and because of COVID-19, I don't have the help that I usually do. I normally work with my friend Mike. He's been in a few of my videos, but he's normally behind the camera when I'm working with him. So progress is a little slower because he's not here to help out. But regardless, they're being made. I just have to work on them on my own, which isn't new to me, but it means that progress on them might be a little slower. And expect videos of just whatever I can think of. Like that News of the Future video. Now that, I'm more concentrated on working with my friends on various projects and my own projects, expect more, we kind of took a hold on a few things, but expect more streams from Wayne and the crew, more podcast episodes, more videos from me, more of just everything. And right now we're in a good spot. So, the world can be really scary right now. But we're getting through it. And I think I'm repeating myself, but I would love to look back on this video and see and be able to say, wow, what a turbulent and interesting time that was. But I'm glad it's better and things have changed for the good. And, thinking about that makes me happy. Again, please donate. I implore you, please donate. These organizations that are on the ground, especially the ones that are on the ground, need your help. And I'll say it again. The Minnesota Baaulp Fund, they claim that they have had enough support and are asking that if you are going to be generous, if you are going to donate, please look for different organizations around the country. I'm sure if you do your research, you can find an organization that will benefit you and the community that you're a part of greatly. Please donate. We are in a time of great change. I hope for the better, but it doesn't mean that it's time to slow down. It doesn't mean that it's time to give up. It means that it's time to press forward in any way that you can. We, keep fighting the good fight. Things like this are slow. They don't happen overnight. They don't change overnight, but already we're starting to see trickles of it. At the time of this recording, the 4 police officers involved in George Floyd's death are now in custody, and charges have been made against them. But we got to keep going. So, please donate. That's I know people normally watch these videos to just hear me ramble about things, but but this one's going to contain a call to action. So please do what you can, whatever you can, help. I'm human, just like you. I am scared. I'm nervous. For the last week, my anxiety has been through the roof. But seeing the outpouring of support and seeing the change slowly start to trickle in, has helped alleviate that greatly. And I assume that the same is true for my friends as well. Alright. This one's going to be a little long. And again, I wish I was more eloquent. I'm not the best person to be talking about all of this. But please support others, and thank you for supporting me. Have a nice day. Bye.